All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another weekly webinar. Today is Thursday, March 27th, 2025. Spring has sprung. I've been outside for a little bit, just making sure the weather was great for everyone. I can confirm it's lovely out there where I am. I hope the same for all of you. Thank you for joining us today. It looks like everyone is muted from what I can tell, so we appreciate that so we don't have background noise while our speaker is presenting. I pressed the record button, so this recording will be available later today for watching and sharing and referring back to as you need it. And we'll have a link to that recording in the next issue of the My Alliance newsletter. If you need closed captioning, find the show captions button at the bottom of your screen and enable that as you need to. I believe that those are all of the announcements, except for extra special thanks to all of you for joining us today. I know there's a little baseball game down the road for some of us, and so it means a lot that you chose to spend a bit of time today with us, and we'll all think a good thought for our Kansas City Royals today, and hope for a win. Okay, so those are all the announcements, and now I am delighted to introduce our presenter for today, Jackie Wilburn, who is an integrated health scholar and a Master of Social Work student at the University of Kansas. Happy Social Work Month, Jackie, and to all the social workers who might be out there. We had a little celebration yesterday with the social work team and the Cognitive Care Network social workers at KU, and there were cookies involved, so that was very exciting. And so as part of Social Work Month, it was wonderful that Jackie is available to come to us today and talk about probably, I mean, am I biased or not? I think this is the best topic of the year so far. If there's anybody watching this who has already presented this year, I don't mean you weren't good, but this one is really the most fun and inspired the most puns. And if anyone did the brain booster in this week's My Alliance, thank you, Jackie, for inspiring me to have some toilet humor in there. All right, in all seriousness, back to Jackie. Jackie is graduating in May. Congratulations, Jackie. The light at the end of the tunnel. I remember being in that position. It's coming. It's
Yeah,
great.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. And so we know Jackie because she is doing her clinical practicum for her MSW as part of the Cognitive Care Network here at KU ADRC. And Jackie has a passion for addressing gaps in patient-centered services. And she focuses on innovative and practical solutions, as you are about to hear about, to improve the well-being of all individuals. And through her advocacy, she aims to integrate tools like bidets into healthcare settings to enhance dignity, ease caregiving burdens, and promote sustainable hygienic practices. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Jackie. I can't wait to hear about your insight and your intervention on a topic that a lot of us might have thought, oh gosh, I don't know. But by the end of our program today, I bet we'll be saying hooray for bidets with an exclamation point. So all yours, Jackie.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. What a warm welcome. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about bidets today. I know it's something I really don't hear a lot about. And 7 months ago, before I started at the ADRC, I never would have thought that I would be giving you bidet education right now. So here we go. I'm going to tell you how I got into it and how bidets can help you and everyone you know out, honestly. Okay. So, being at the ADRC, one of the things about my internship is that I'm part of the Integrated Health Scholarship Program. And what that means is the KU School of Social Work wants as many social workers as possible on multidisciplinary health teams. And that is so we can really focus on whole person care. It's not just about whatever the diagnosis is, it's about the person's experience through their diagnosis. And so as a student, when I'm going in, I'm kind of looking for little gaps like that. What are ways that I can help improve this experience, even though there's already 10 social workers on the cognitive care team doing the very most, being experts in this to help everyone. So that was kind of my scope going in as a master's intern. As part of the Cognitive Care Network, I know that my instructor, Lindsay, has previously been on and talked about the Cognitive Care Network and what it is that we do. but you really can't say it enough. So I just have a little list here of some of the things we do as part of the Cognitive Care Network. When someone gets a dementia diagnosis, whatever it may be, they need education from the very beginning. We are not experts on everything under the sun. You get a dementia diagnosis and all of a sudden you need someone on your team that can get you the right education and information. And that is what the social workers and the nurse navigators on this team do. They connect people with community resources, talk about brain health, wellness strategies, the little day-to-day things that make you able to live your best life through whatever your diagnosis is. So that's what I'm doing as part of the cognitive care team. But you know, finding small ways to make a big impact on people's lives is something that I learned a long time ago. I just added this slide this morning because I wanted to talk to you about my grandma Sally. She ran this bed and breakfast in this small little town for years. That was after being a straight up farmer for 20 years. She opened this bed and breakfast, and she really made people feel cared for. No matter where they were coming from in the United States, she called them sugar, gave them a hug, wanted to know what their favorite things were, wanted to know their interests. And she taught my sister and I how to do that through her behaviors every day. And so when she got a dementia diagnosis, and we were so lucky to have a wonderful facility in her hometown for her to find comfort, but we wanted to make it really special for her. You know, we brought all of her beautiful items she loved, her favorite things. We talked about stories. We tried to have good times. But there were gaps when I look back. Now I have realized that something so simple as a bidet attachment could have made a really big difference. And it really could have helped support her dignity and her comfort through her memory change. So today, this is kind of unexpected, but it's incredibly relevant in any conversation about aging or comfort or quality of care. So that's how we're getting into it. That's how I learned about bidets, and that's what I want to talk about today. What are they? How do they work? And why do they matter? So if you've ever traveled through Europe, maybe you've seen a bidet. You might not have known what it was. Bidets are actually whole toilets that have knobs and different sprayers. But here in the United States now, we've got bidet attachments. And that is thanks to the COVID-19 pandemic. That's where I became familiar with them. We had a toilet paper shortage, and I had a friend that put a bidet attachment in every single bathroom she had. She was pregnant at the time, and she was just telling me how incredible it was. You know, it really helped her out. So today, I'm here to tell you these bidet attachments you can see over here on the right side of my screen. It's just this white piece and the side function knob on the right side of the toilet. They fit in your current bathroom plumbing. And it helps you cleanse without twisting or turning or using toilet paper. You use your own water supply. There's no electricity involved with a simple bidet attachment. It doesn't take up a lot of space. How it works, you can see there's like a double barrel nozzle here. It extends below whomever's seated on the toilet, and the user controls the pressure with this knob on the side. Sometimes it's a button. A lot of bidets are under $100. Some of the more expensive ones have more features, like you can get another line and connect it to warm water under your bathroom sink. They have air drying, heated seats, like a full control panel. I don't know all the things they do. I have a very simple bidet that I installed through doing this project. So I'm able to tell you a little bit more about that model. Bidet attachments, yeah, it says down here, they are under $100, and literally you can install them in under 10 minutes. I can't believe it's true, but it is. I have a little video. We'll see if I can get it going. It's installing a bidet in less than 10 minutes.
You won't believe how easy it is to install a bidet attachment to your toilet. I got this Yasful bidet on Amazon and it comes with everything you need to get it installed in under 10 minutes. First, turn off the water and empty all of the water from the tank. Put some towels down and disconnect the water line. Remove the seat and place the bidet attachment on according to the instructions. Wrap all of the connections with thread seal tape, then install the T adapter that came with this bidet. Hook up the water line to that. Next, take the flexible hose that comes with the bidet and attach it to the T connector and attach the other end to the bidet. Turn the water back on and check for leaks. Now you're good to use your new bidet attachment. For a complete tutorial, hit the link below and be sure to subscribe for more DIY made easy.
That's how easy it is, and it really is. When I first got my bidet, I watched that video, and then I took a week, honestly. I'm very busy. So every time I'd walk in my bathroom, I would familiarize myself a little bit. I'd say, oh, there's the water line. There's that knob. Oh yeah, you just turn it and the water turns off. I know it seems silly if you're handy at all, but once you realize, hey, you're turning the water to your toilet off, it's okay. You're going to be able to attach this bidet attachment. You're not going to end up flooding your bathroom trying to do a simple task. I love how easy it is to install. I've got to be honest, I managed my boyfriend installing it in 10 minutes. I'm not going to lie, but it's very possible. How do you use a bidet? I'm not going to get that graphic with it, but basically you're sitting on the toilet, and the most important thing is that you keep your knees together, because this thing will hit the wall right in front of you. Don't try to inspect it while you're using it the first time. You just turn on the water pressure using that nozzle on the side that we talked about. And then you can either air dry, you can use a hand towel, you can use a small amount of toilet paper if you want to dry off. Who does the bidet benefit? The bidet benefits anyone, honestly. Maybe Olympians don't want to use a bidet. I would understand that. But it can help anyone with any kind of mobility attachment or limitation. If you have arthritis or chronic pain, post-surgical recovery, my other grandmother, she broke both of her wrists falling on the ice one winter. And I had to do everything from open the mail, help her in the bathroom, cut grapes. I mean, she couldn't do anything. But with the bidet, boy, she would have had a lot more independence in the bathroom. And I think that we would have had a lot easier time together. When you're helping someone at that level, things get tense, they really do. This bidet attachment can also help anyone with a neurological issue, Parkinson's, stroke, MS, a spinal cord injury, those fine motor skills. It becomes a lot easier with the help of a bidet attachment. And of course, I am most inspired by the idea of bidets being integrated into acute care settings, rehab, long-term care. We always talk about shortages in staff. This is a great way to help people be a little bit more independent. And also, I had a social worker yesterday on the team point out that these assisted living facilities and such, they spend a lot of money snaking drains due to wipes, flushable wipes that certainly are not flushable, hand towels, all kinds of different things. And so this can also look really great on the budget, I think, in the end. So I really have hope that now that these bidet attachments are becoming more popular, that we might be able to see them in more medical settings. Considering all of this that I have told you about the bidet, I will wrap up with this is my capstone project, and where I kind of break down educationally why the bidet. When my grandmother, when she was in this assisted living facility and we had such a beautiful space for her, all of her things were there. It was wonderful. And when I would show up, she would say, "Oh, sugar, I'm so glad you're here. Take me to the bathroom." because she didn't want to bother the nurse, even though the nurse is there to help her get up safely. She had mobility issues. Boy, it made my shoulders come all the way up to my ears. I mean, because I didn't want to hurt her. Her skin, her skin was really thin. She didn't have a lot of core strength. So by the time I even got her to go to the bathroom, I was emotionally drained. And then, not to mention, cleaning up after the bathroom. I had seen my grandmother have, you know, a UTI before. I don't know if you've ever seen someone with a dementia diagnosis with a UTI, but it can be devastating. And so if I would have been able to use the bidet tool and relax a little bit and know grandma's clean, I don't have to do such tedious work. And then we have more emotional space to enjoy each other. Through a social work lens over here on the right side of my screen, dignity and autonomy are huge core values for social workers. And using a bidet attachment, it can help people maintain their own personal hygiene. They are preserving their own bodily autonomy, less embarrassment, less discomfort. One of the groups that people with bidet that need bidet attachments, it really helps with things like hemorrhoids. It's a cool water stream, it is hygienic. You're covering all surfaces. Like I said, it reduces care partner burden. Not only are you under physical strain, but you're under an emotional strain as a care partner when you're doing these caregiving tasks. They provide a little bit of a hands-free option in the bathroom. It reduces the frequency and the intensity of those intimate caregiving tasks. This was applicable in my life with my grandparents. I also think about it a lot when I think about those with an early diagnosis. Couples, in their late 50s or early 60s, all of a sudden these intimate caregiving tasks, they're constant. They happen many times during the day. This can really help maintain positive relationships. When these things are less stressful, then both care partners and the person with the disease can focus on those meaningful connections and then enjoying each other, and less making those activities of daily living such a struggle. And they enhance comfort and hygiene. Water provides a gentle cleanse, removing bacteria, less irritation. It's that water stream instead of continual wiping. It helps prevent rashes, infections, and yes, discomfort, which is fantastic. This is my educational piece that I was able to present yesterday to all of the people on the Cognitive Care Network. We're going to be providing these. We have educational pamphlets we give people when they get a new diagnosis. We also have racks of educational information at the memory clinic. So we're really excited to have this out there. This is very basic information, but my hope is that people can familiarize themselves that bidet attachments are available. They're really affordable. They're easy to install, and they improve your life in a big way every day. I'm so happy that I have a bidet now that I started this project. I've had friends that have also jumped on board, and I think it's just something that's not part of American culture, and that's why I love sharing it. And I hope that you all walk away today knowing how helpful this can be for so many different people.
Jackie, wonderful. Thank you so much. We've got a question that just popped up in the chat. Looks like it's just to me, so I'll read it out loud. And the question is, could you speak to the, hold on, my box went away. There we go. Could you speak to the cleaning of the attachment when people have, and the questioner says, don't know any other way to say it. I'm not shy, I'll say it. When people have an explosive bowel movement.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Okay, so the attachment has this little nozzle cover and it comes down over the sprayer. And so there is a little nozzle check button on many of the bidet attachments. And so it's a guard that keeps it from being sprayed on, and then it kind of allows water to flush down vertically over it. So when it's cleaning us, it sprays out toward us. And then when we do a self clean, the nozzle comes down and it sprays water over each other or over itself. Obviously, this is a thing, you know, I'm a person, I use those, I'm a Clorox toilet wand girl. And so I do just give it a little scrub because it rinses itself when you turn it on. You can close your toilet lid and turn it on if you want. Just do not turn that on if you're not sitting on it or if your lid's not closed, because you will be sprayed big time.
Okay, so it sounds like there's interventions for that. And I was going to say, Jackie, if you don't mind, I'll add that when this is going to be a different time for everybody, but I think that if and when people are having issues in the bathroom that produce explosive output, we'll say, that's a really strong indicator that it may be time to move on to more supportive care, including incontinence products, speaking with a doctor about additional diagnoses like irritable bowel syndrome, and rubber gloves. I mean, there are a whole lot of ways to intervene with that. But I don't want to speak for you, Jackie, but I don't think we want anybody to be out here feeling like, oh no, this is just this terrible problem and all I can do is use a bidet. There are so many things, so many ways to intervene. And Jackie, I saw you lean forward, so I think I'll turn it back over to you if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a cure for anything. It is just a cleanup tool. When you talked about incontinence products, I'm thinking about this, you know, if you are using Depends, this is a great way to clean up post Depends, you know. This is basically a way to control the cleanup situation without so much help from the care partner. I told a simple story about me. I got a tummy tuck a few years ago. I had no core strength. I couldn't twist. I was barely coherent. And so that, for me, at 30 years old, it was an amazing help. And you don't have to use it all the time. If there are multiple people using the same facilities, it works just fine without turning it on. You know, you only need it if it's functional at that time. You know, it's
That's
about what the function is. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie, that's something I had not thought about, is that just because you have it doesn't mean you have to use it, right? You can still use your toilet in the traditional manner. But if you do have one, it really can come in handy. I used a bidet. Some of you were around a couple years ago when I took a week off and went over to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. And there are bidets in all the bathrooms over there, and it was amazing. So you can use it if you want to use it. You can and should use it. We had another question in the chat that Lindsay addressed, but Jackie, I wonder if you would say more. There was a question about where to purchase a bidet.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can go to Amazon and search bidet, and it will pull up a huge list of bidet attachments. And on that educational sheet I do have like a QR code, and that's all it is when you click it with your phone camera, it takes you to an Amazon list of bidets. Walmart has them as well. These are available anywhere from $35 all the way up to $2,500 full bidet toilets that are not attachments, you know. So yeah, they are very widely available. It's just that we don't see them a lot. So they're really not going to be hard for you to find and buy and have delivered. They're very easy to find.
Very good. Jackie, I'm at the age where they tell you a colonoscopy is a good idea. So I had my colonoscopy back in 2021. And my physician recommended a portable bidet for the days sort of surrounding pre and post colonoscopy. And now I've told everybody much more information than they probably ever wanted to know about me. But I can tell you that it was helpful. And it was not expensive. It was maybe $20. I have not really used it since. but I like knowing that I have it. And that the portability, I think, is nice because, like Jackie has told us, in the United States, we are not necessarily able to just find a bidet anywhere we go. So the portable kind is nice, and you can carry it with you, I guess, in your purse if you feel so inclined.
Yeah, yeah. And the attachments feel so portable in themselves. If I were going for 2 weeks to stay at an Airbnb and wanted to take it, I could take it off of my toilet within 10 minutes and take it if I wanted to. It's very easy because once you turn the water to your toilet off and empty it, you take the stuff off. It's very empowering to be able to do something like that. But it is functionally day to day. You know, we've talked about women once a month. It's great. People with IBS, it is a great tool, you know. Yeah, and the colonoscopy too. I think it was, I don't know if it's colon health month or something. I just saw a big thing about colonoscopies. So yes, it's so functional. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Jackie, while you were presenting, I was looking in our app, the Dementia Care Assist app, because I know toileting is a question that lots of families have about, what do I do when mom, dad, husband, wife, I don't want to call or not call somebody, but when my person that I'm caring for is having a challenge. And toileting is one of those that comes up pretty often. And so I can tell you that the app has some information about, there's a whole section on when someone uses the bathroom in a place they shouldn't. So rest assured that the app can be at your fingertips if you haven't gotten that already. You can download it. I might see if I can grab the link for that. And I will, and it's always in the My Alliance newsletter. I've been keeping that in there every week. Jackie, I wanted to also ask if your resource guide, is that something that you would be willing to email me so that
I
I
would
can
love
share?
to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you've been watching and thinking, wow, that guide sounds great, and you didn't get a chance to take a screenshot or whatever, it sounds like Jackie's willing to have that available to us by email. So if you'd like to have that, feel free to send me an email at myalliance@kumc.edu, and I'll be happy to send it over to you with Jackie's blessing, it sounds like, to use as you need to.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about bidets or how they can be useful? I'm thinking about taking care of my own grandma. Thank you for sharing Grandma Sally with us, Jackie. I'm thinking about caring for my own grandmother, and as her dementia progressed, and I feel like I have some pretty good memories of her being fairly resistant, and we did not have a bidet. And I'm wondering if that wouldn't have been more helpful. We did have a bedside toilet that was helpful, but we did not have a bidet.
You know, I just over the weekend I saw my dad and his wife, and they're just 70. And you know, my dad's a big guy. He used to play a lot of sports. He's 6'4". He's got arthritis in his knees. He my little tiny stepmother can barely help him get out of his chair. And
Yeah.
so when I was telling them about this, he took it and he said, "You're telling me I should get one of these, huh?" Very helpful. It is.
I love it.
I did realize I can add this to our chat as well. Like I have the flyer, so I can like attach it here in the chat too if anybody's able to grab it.
Perfect. And so we have a question, Jackie, when you can. Is there anything the person with dementia has to do themselves? I think probably meaning like as you are using the bidet, what if you're alone? Can you manage it
Yeah.
yourself, or what would that be like?
Yeah, I'm really glad that you said that. One thing that I really liked about the bidet is that when it comes to dementia, this is an opportunity to practice constant consent and constant independence too. And so a care partner, if you're helping someone go to the bathroom, you can say, "Hey, there's the knob. Do you remember how to use it? Do you want to do it? Or should I?" If we're further along in a diagnosis, you know, you might say, "Okay, I'm turning the knob. You're going to feel some water." Honestly, because I do worry, we talked yesterday in this meeting, it's like, well, what if you get up and forget to turn the water off? You're being sprayed with water. So again, it's not a perfect cure all to anything. You are going to make the person with the disease and the care partner both active participants in the conversation about how we're using the tool. So yeah, and boy, it did get me thinking about if those more expensive models have a shut off like that. I don't know, because I only was exploring these really affordable, simple attachments, because that's what we have access to, you know? I mean, that's $100 these days. You don't want to just throw your money out the door on something you've never tried before. And so that was why my focus remained on this very simple version. But yeah, it's not perfect. I hope there aren't too many wet and wild accidents. Also, I do want to say this is really random to end this with, but I don't want anyone to worry about should I get hot water, should I get cold water. The basic bidet attachment that you just connect with the hose to your water line, the water is not cold. We don't mess around in toilet water a lot, so you're not really aware what the temperature is. And I'm just here to tell you that it's not shocking. It's not shockingly cold. It's totally an appropriate temperature, and we found that out through our own field work at the Cognitive Care Network.
I love that. The social workers in action doing all of this to support good quality of life. That's a fantastic way to wrap up, Jackie. And I hope you saw my victory sign when you mentioned Wet and Wild. I'm only disappointed that I didn't think of putting Wet and Wild in there somewhere before now. So thank you so much. And I want to acknowledge another comment in the chat. The best thing is how clean it keeps the person, even for older adults. And that's so important, especially for dignity and respect and just a sense of feeling good about oneself. There's so many benefits to the bidet, it sounds like, for the person with dementia and for the caregiver. And that's absolutely what we are after here at My Alliance. So thank you. Thank you so much, Jackie. And I'll remind everybody that you can email myalliance@kumc.edu if you want a copy of Jackie's resource sheet. And we'll link to this video in the next issue of My Alliance, which will come out on Monday, March 31st. We'll still be in Social Work Month by the next issue of My Alliance. So keep celebrating. And thank you, Jackie, for dropping the PDF right there in the chat. How perfect. So if you're available, if you're able to click on that, you can download it right away. Otherwise, feel free to email My Alliance and I'll be happy to send that over to you. Before we wrap up for today, I will let you know that next week on April 3rd, our speaker will be Dr. Jaime Perales Puchalt, who is an assistant professor here at the KU ADRC and who is the director of Outreach, Recruitment, and Engagement Core. And he's going to join us to talk about our study Cuida Text, which is about using text messaging as an intervention for people who are caring for someone with a cognitive change. So tune in for that. You'll get some great information about how texting can be a resource and more information. I'll be back. Until then, go Royals. I hope we bring home a win. I think the opening ceremony or whatever is just starting right about now, so you're welcome. Jackie, again, thank you. Thank you for the gifts that you have been to the CCN and to the ADRC.
Thank you, Kelly.
All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your afternoon. Happy end of March, and we'll see you next month. Bye-bye.